There's something about the women of the Old West, something we still admire today. They were tough, determined, and willing to break the rules and the law.
Here's a quick look at one of the mystery women from the Wild West.
Let's dig into this.
The story of Josephine Sarah Marcus Earp, called Sadie most of her life, may be one of the most confusing and sad of the Old West. Books and movies have made her out to be a beautiful actress with a heart of gold. She probably wasn't either of those things. Josephine Earp spent many years crafting the story of her life and covering up the things she didn't want anyone to know.
Josephine Sarah Marcus was born in New York City in 1861. Her family moved to San Francisco when she was 7, and Josephine said she ran away in 1879 to join the Pauline Markham Theater Company, traveling by ship and then stagecoach to Arizona with a friend named Dora. But Dora never existed, and the Markham troupe traveled by train. Josephine was never listed on any program or advertisement, and may have arrived in Arizona as early as 1874, making her just 14 years old. But the story fills in a 5-year gap in Josephine's life that she would never talk about, except to say it was all a bad dream.
Josephine was known as Sadie for much of her life, and historians have found census records from 1880 listing a Sadie Mansfield, including birth and family information, that match the census records of a woman named Sadie Marcus. The suspicion is that Marcus's family listed Josephine on their forms under her nickname Sadie, and Josephine filled out forms in Arizona under the name Sadie Mansfield.
And records show Sadie Mansfield traveled from Arizona with Madame Hattie Wells and her ladies by stagecoach at the time Josephine Sadie Marcus claimed to be with the Markham troupe. Many historians believe both Sadies were really Josephine. Sadie Mansfield was arrested in Prescott, Arizona in 1875 for stealing from the Asher and Company store. Although the stolen items were found in her room, she was found not guilty.
Sheriff Johnny Behan is recorded as visiting Sadie Mansfield at Madame Josie Rowland's brothel in Prescott numerous times before his wife divorced him. The sheriff and Sadie were living together in Tombstone, Arizona by 1880, and she was calling herself Sadie Behan. But she would start a relationship with Wyatt Earp a short time later. She left Behan and Earp left his common law wife, and Sadie claimed the pair were married on a boat off the coast of California. No official record of their marriage exists, although there are witnesses.
Sadie was blamed for the whole mess at the OK Corral by several Tombstone residents and later authors, although no one would ever say why. Regardless, after the dust settled and Wyatt was found not guilty of murder in the gunfight and had hunted the men he held responsible for the murder of his brother Morgan and the near murder of his brother Virgil, he left Tombstone as a wanted man.
He joined Sadie in San Francisco and they started a new life, several times in several places. They mined for gold and silver and opened saloons and gambling halls in mining towns, moving on when the grass looked greener elsewhere. They ended up in San Diego and opened several horse racing and gambling spots, and Sadie took up gambling, big time. She lost so much money that Wyatt lost his properties, unable to afford the taxes on them.
They would move on to Alaska and, after a couple of years running a saloon, return to California with a reported $80,000, over $2 million in today's money, that Wyatt had managed to save after he cut Josephine off from gambling at every saloon in town. Wyatt thought they were set for the rest of their lives. They would spend part of the year in Los Angeles and part at the only home they ever owned, a cabin in Vidal. And as Wyatt's health declined, Sadie's gambling grew. She lost everything.
Family would say Sadie didn't take care of Wyatt in his declining years. She didn't cook or keep up the house, and friends and family would bring meals to make sure Wyatt was being fed after he became ill in 1928. She did spend time writing letters threatening anyone making movies or writing about them.
Protecting Wyatt's reputation and hiding her own past were her major pastimes. She kept boxes and boxes of notes, photos, and mementos, and her work at keeping the unsavory parts of her life and Wyatt's secret is the reason their legend has been so much different than reality.
When Wyatt died on January 13th, 1929, Sadie claimed to be too devastated to plan or attend his funeral, and relatives said she wasn't upset by her husband's death either. She told everyone to stop calling her Sadie because she had always hated that name. When she was in her 70s, she met with two relatives who wanted to write a book about her life. The women found that they could not separate the truth from Josephine's tall tales. Josephine eventually burned the manuscript, ending the project.
Josephine Sarah Marcus Earp died in 1944 in Los Angeles after suffering a heart attack. Dementia was listed as a contributing factor in her death. Her ashes were buried next to Wyatt's, and Sid Grauman of Grauman's Theater and actor William S. Hart, a friend of Wyatt's, paid for her funeral. The headstone at their plot was stolen several times, and in 1957 grave robbers even tried to steal the urn with Wyatt's ashes. The headstone at their grave today was placed in 1999 by a California group to honor Wild West legend Wyatt Earp and wild woman Josephine Sarah Marcus.
We hope you enjoyed this video. You can view our Wild West Women's series of videos by using the link in the description.
Hey, here's another Dragon Den video you might like.
And if you like this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button.
And you can hit the notification bell if you'd like to know when our videos come out.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.